Hey everyone, welcome back to Kyber Brickz. First off, I want to say thank you guys so much for helping me achieve over 750 subscribers on this channel. I seriously could not be any more thankful for all of you guys. You know, we just started this channel about 6 months ago, so it's crazy to see the progression of it, and it's all because of you guys, so once again, thank you. But with that being said, you probably have wondered why there has not been a single Felucia MOC update video. Well, that's just because I've had a lot of family come into town, so my wife and my daughter, we've just been enjoying that, and so I figured let's kind of like take the reins back on that and maybe do a couple different videos in between, since I really wasn't able to actually work on Felucia. But that's going to change today, as in this video it's another week of building Felucia in LEGO, and we have so many exciting things to do. Number one being working on the Separatist base. I know that's something that I've been talking about for, I would say, the last like 3 to 4 weeks of like figuring out what I want to do specifically with it, but we've figured it out, so I'm going to go over that right now. We're also going to be talking a little bit about new plants that I'm going to also add into this MOC. We also have some expansions since our last video. But with all that being said, let's get started. But before we get started with today's video, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and tap that notification bell to be notified when I do drop a new video. Let's get to building. It's time to do a little overview on how Felucia is looking right now. So as you can see, since our last update, there really hasn't been too much stuff that has been happening. But as you've probably noticed, since our last video, I actually did add in more of the base plates, as we were talking about, like extending the MOC pretty much from the end of the table all the way to the other side. So now it is actually quite big, and it's probably gotten about 3 times bigger than we anticipated when we did start this project. So I'm pretty excited for it, as it's going to allow us to add in a lot more detail from like what I really wanted to do in the beginning, and we've gotten more plants kind of set up. As you saw in our previous video, I talked about that. I actually have more parts coming in to make like the blue version of it. Then we also, I think last video we touched upon like the Felucian trees, so I ordered more parts. I believe I have that stuff that's already in, so I'm going to be making more of those. But just overall, I think that like with this MOC, it's just getting to be a really big and fun project, which that's exactly what I want, just because we have like the ATTE that we're going to be putting in here, as well as the Separatist base. So speaking of Separatist base, I actually started working on it, so let me show you guys what I got. This is what I came up with. So as you can see, we got a lot of different part usage, a lot of different colors, primarily being like the dark blue with the light bluish gray and dark bluish gray colors, keeping to that theme of Clone Wars or just like the Separatist altogether. And you know, there wasn't really anything like unbrickable or just anything in general giving me like a clear picture on like what a Separatist base might be. I did look at some images online and I liked them. I did like the idea of them, but I just want to make it something fun and something custom to my own that maybe I can bring with me to other projects that we do in the future. But overall, I love just how it came out. I think it was just something off the top of my head and something that I just pulled all the pieces out to build, and this is what I came up with. And then on the top, we just kind of tiled it off, used some of these like cylinder or circular pieces, I should say, and then we also used like the 1x2 grill bricks, so we have that. But this is what I came up with. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear. But let's go ahead and remove the top so you guys can see inside. You can see that it's pretty simple to do. I have it set with some like jumpers, so it's not too hard to actually take off and to add stuff inside. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit to show you what the interior looks like. So it's nothing too flashy. I figured it is just battle droids, so they're not really going to need much. But this is just a starting point where I'm going to be putting some things in here. But so far, this is kind of like the concept and the idea that I do have for this. I also built another piece that I'm going to be attaching to this. So this is just basically like the front entrance if they come through right here. And then like this is going to lead to another area where I built something else for it. So that's kind of like how this thing looks inside. But let me show you the other piece that kind of attaches to this that I've actually been working on. So you pretty much move this to the side, and then I have this other attachment that will come back here and kind of like clip in on this side, which I'll remove this to kind of show you guys more of what this thing looks like. So it's essentially the armory. I'm still going to be putting stuff up to kind of like build it all in, and it just has a fun vibe to it. I liked how I actually included these like caution areas to like show like where I guess the droids are going to be walking. And then I also used a lot of grill pieces on the ground to give it more of that like industrial look. And we have some like the blasters that they have on the back, which I probably will order from Clone Army Customs. Some other blasters, just because the Lego ones are cool, but I don't know. I don't really care for them. I'm not like a huge Lego purist, so I don't need essentially just only Lego. So I probably will buy from Clone Army Customs. But overall, like this is kind of like the other idea that I've come up with. I'm actually going to be adding a little bit more to it, of course, to kind of like close it in and make it where, you know, it looks like a finished building. But that's what we have so far. I'm going to continue to work on this and try building it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Now it's time to see what this actually looks like after it's been placed onto the base plates. So you can see the building and the part of the armory takes up a nice chunk on the other side, which is pretty much why we extended the MOC in the first place, to give it a little bit more room on this side. And right here, like where that little hallway is connecting these two buildings, I'm actually going to kind of like branch it out on each side to make it a little bit bigger, to add like other little rooms. I'm also thinking about adding in some of those STAP droid like vehicle things, potentially like an assault tank of the Separatists, potentially. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do that quite yet. And then also I still have to do like some farms and stuff like in the back. I was also thinking about like the area back here, making it where the ATTE is going to be at. Potentially like a Republic outpost kind of thing, where like they arrived and they kind of set up shop over there before they started storming this building in particular. Of course, we're going to add in the Nicilum, which is pretty much one of the primary reasons I made this, just because that plant is very, very valuable in the Star Wars galaxy. But again, just trying to develop a better storyline, which I feel like after I get my buildings kind of completed and get a little bit more layout done, then I can start to get an idea of how I'm going to place minifigures, or like what the overall story is going to be. But that's what it looks like right now. Before we get started with building the Felucia plant that I have set out for this week's update, we did get in a few BrickLink orders, so let me show you guys what we got. So I wanted to kind of show you guys like specifically what I got. So let's go ahead and start with this little one and see what we got. And this is from Brent's Brickz. So we have some pieces that we're going to be utilizing for our Felucia flower, a couple other pieces as well as some like dark blue for like Separatist colors. Then we also got a couple battle droids, which we're going to need to start loading up on these. I'm so excited for that new battle pack that's supposed to be coming January 1st. And then we also got some stickers. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these, but I figured these look pretty cool, so why not? And our next package comes from Ted in Brickz. Brickz, I think is how you pronounce that. And let's see what we got here. All right, I think, yeah, this is another package to be used for a Felucia plant as well. I'm gonna be making like a blue one, so these are kind of like the curved slopes that we needed. So perfect. Next, our package from Brickz. We have a few other things as well. There we go, I believe that's everything, yep. So we have some of the disc pieces for the Felucia flower. We have some more Separatist dark blue. And for the most part, I actually just kind of like needed specific things, but you had to do like minimum orders. So I have some dark blue pieces. I have the lightsaber hilts for, I'm going to try and do like some STAP speeders, or some STAP vehicles, I forget the exact name. And then we have some clear dish pieces as well. So that's from Brickz, I want to say, on BrickLink. Our next package is from Cal Brick Lab, one of my favorite shops on BrickLink, besides Brent's Brickz. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. This is a big boy. This guy's always got what I need, so shout out to you, man. So we have some dark tan plate that's going to be used really well for Felucia, especially with some modifications that we're actually going to be doing to the foundation. Then we also have some jumpers, some more dark tan jumpers. We have our other pieces right here that we're going to be utilizing for our Felucia flowers, as well as some more dark turquoise pieces for more water because we are extending out the MOC. So that's our BrickLink order for this week. Here is our new Felucian plant that we have for this week. As you can see, it's pretty much the same thing we made in the last update, but I decided to make a blue one as we see in Star Wars. And with that being said, I did a few different techniques, pretty much different from the other one. I used these blue jumpers to keep like the 1x clip inside the actual plant for like these windshield pieces. And speaking of that, these were really difficult to actually find as they don't have them in like a dark azure color. It's like this satin light blue color, but I really do think it offsets that color between like the actual darkness, the blue, and then like the lighter top and like the cylinder piece in here, which I think it looks really fantastic. Let me know in the comment section below how you guys like these plants. It's so exciting doing this for Felucia, as I feel like it's such a creative environment to be able to do things like this. So that's our plant for the week. I decided to also change up the layout on Felucia once again. Now I know you guys are going to be like, dude, this is like the second or third time you've done it. But since this is my MOC project, I wanted it to look a very certain way. And after seeing a few techniques online, I really wanted to incorporate that in this MOC. I feel like this strategy is going to work a lot better. And with that being said, I know we placed some BrickLink orders for this week, but I also had to place another one for next week, as we're going to do a little bit of the clone outpost area, as well as trying to tile off and finish up the Separatist base foundation. So you can look forward to that in next week's video. Here is what it looks like now, fully taken apart, or at least with all the vegetation. Now I did see different techniques to actually make like better pathways. I feel like mine does look pretty good, like it's got a lot going on, but I feel like we're gonna make it a little bit cleaner with a different technique. And again, it's a MOC, so things are always changing. We're trying to improve during the entire experience. So hopefully this will be the last time I kind of mess with the terrain, as this is gonna be a lot of work, pretty much taking everything out of here. So I'm going to do that. As you can see now, my workstation has just gotten a little bit bonkers, but that's okay because I want this to look a very certain way. So let me go ahead and take all this apart. After about an hour of unpicking the entire board, we were finally able to get all the pieces out. Thanks to my wife and my daughter, we were able to knock it out pretty fast. I don't know. It's just like unreal because we've been working on this for so long, and now we're semi back to a totally clean slate. But again, it's something that I'm learning in the process of how to do all this stuff. So to me, it's no big deal, as I want this MOC to be quite a long series and I want to make it as perfect as possible. So what we're going to be doing is starting a new plan. I have a different idea of how I'm going to do the trail. So I'm going to start that right now, and I'll let you guys know how that looks. And to be able to successfully make the pathway, I have my dark tan plate, as well as probably going to be using these, I guess like modified plates as well in dark tan. So let's see how that looks. And as you can see here, we're just laying the new pathway down for this new trail that we're creating here on Felucia. And let's see what it looks like now. Here we have a very rough draft on how our new pathway is going to look. I really did not like how much studs were exposed in our last foundation update. And with that being said, you just saw like a sporadic of different colors, and now that was good for texture reasons. I'm going to try something new that I saw, just different techniques on building pathways. And I think it's going to work out so much better for this MOC. So hopefully this is the last time we actually have to mess with the MOC and kind of take things out. But since this is my own creation, Felucia, I want to make sure it's exactly how I envisioned, so that's why we're going to be restarting this segment. So that's the video, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below how you enjoyed this week's LEGO Star Wars Felucia MOC update. I would love to hear. But with all that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Tap that notification bell to be notified when I do drop a new video. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.